There is currently over 100 submachine guns in Destiny 2. And let's be honest, many of those weapons are really subpar. However, in this video, I'm going to give you guys the top 5 legendary submachine guns in Destiny 2 Season of the Plunder. And I'm going to give you guys the best perks for PvP and PvE to farm for. You can thank me by liking the video or hey, even subbing. Now working our way from the worst to the best, at number 5 we have the funnel web submachine gun. And the funnel web might be the most popular submachine gun in Destiny 2. And one of the main reasons is because it reminds people of the sunsetted submachine gun, the Recluse. And it's a very easy weapon to farm for because you could get it from legendary engrams and you can also get it from some vendors. Not those vendors, silly Billy, this vendor. And it's a 900 round submachine gun, so it is meta, and you could get it at 100 recoil. And this is one of the best legendary submachine guns that you can use for PvE. And with its Vice Stinger trait, it has an opportunity to reload the weapon as you do damage to enemies. And this weapon has some great PvE god roll traits like subsistence and perpetual motion to help with your reload, and perks like adrenaline junkie, frenzy, and focus fury for damage. And with those perks, this weapon is perfect for killing mobs of ads in PvE. However, in PvP, there's not a lot of great perks to choose from, but you do have perks like Killing Wind and Rangefinder that could give you plus 21 to your range. And like I said, this weapon is really good for PvE, but if you're a PvP bang, you can find better weapons that can suit your needs. Coming in at number 4, Shayura's Wrath SMG. And we all know hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. And for over a year, Shayura's Wrath have been giving her wrath to enemies both in PvP and PvE. And pound for pound, this is one of the best SMGs in Destiny 2. And the reason why, this weapon has more god roll perks than any other SMG in Destiny 2. So for instance, all the gold mean those are good for both PvP and PvE, all the blue mean is good for PvE, and all the red mean is good for PvP. So chances are if you get your hands on this weapon, it's gonna be some type of form of a god roll. So you could take this weapon into PvE and use perks like Kill Clip and Harmony so you could get more damage to enemies. Or you could take it into PvP and use perks like Dynamic Sway Reduction or Heating Up to help with target acquisition or stability. And like I said, any of the perks that I showed you previously in the gold are good for both PvP and PvE. The only reason I didn't rank this weapon higher is because it's a 600 rounds per minute, and we all know 900 rounds per minute is currently the meta. And the only bad thing that I can say about this weapon is that you gotta get it from the Trials of Osiris. I feel your pain. Trials of Osiris is horrible. However, the one good thing is if you can go flawless, you can get the adept version of this weapon, but chances are you're not to feel too bad because this weapon still have 2 great origin traits that you can take advantage of. So feel free to jump into Trials of Osiris and farm for a god roll. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. And at number 3 is the Pizzicato 22. I'm not joking, the Pizzicato is S tier. Now the Pizzicato, aka the Pizza SMG, is new to Destiny 2. And it's a 900 rounds per minute, which is meta, but then also it could roll with 100 recoil. And it's a super easy weapon to farm for because you could get it from legendary engrams and also Banshee 44. And one of the things that separate this weapon from most 900 rounds per minute SMGs is that most of them only have an impact of 15. However, with this weapon you have an impact of 20. And this weapon is so unique because it can roll as a 5 out of 5 god roll. So here's a perfect PvP god roll you want to farm for that comes with hammer forged rifling, ricochet rounds, perpetual motion, and rangefinder. And I got that exact same roll a few minutes after I made this video, so that'll also give you 68 range. And in PvE, farm for a roll that has a mixture of perpetual motion, ambitious assassin, or swashbuckler, demolitionist, or multi-kill clip. And on top of that, this weapon is rated almost a 4.5 in PvP and in PvE. So this weapon is definitely worth farming for. And lastly, with its origin trait, you add plus 40 to your handling and 20% flinch resistant for 6 seconds after you reload. So make sure you guys get this weapon. Trust me, it is worth grinding for. So we're coming down the home stretch, and I know some of you guys are anxious to see the top 2 legendary SMGs in Destiny 2. So coming in at number 2 is the CALUS Mini Tool. Now the CALUS Mini Tool was reissued back into Destiny 2 last season, and you can still get this weapon from last season's seasonal event. And the CALUS Mini Tool is a 900 rounds per minute SMG. It has a unique origin trait where if you have a full super and you get a kill with your weapon, it adds plus 20 to your discipline and plus 20 to your strength for 12 seconds. And there's 2 reasons why I have this weapon ranked as the second best SMG in Destiny 2. And the first reason is because this weapon can roll with the best perk in Destiny 2 PvE, which is Incandescent. So when you defeat a target, you're able to spread Scorch to nearby enemies, and is more powerful against combatant and opposing guardians, and it uses the Scorch at a larger radius. And if you pair Incandescent perk with the Ember of Ashes fragment, it increases the amount of Scorch stacks applied to targets both in PvP and guardians by 50%. So basically any weapon that inflicts Scorch is also buffed by Ember of Ashes. It's very clear just because of that perk, this should be your number one main go-to SMG when it comes to PvE. However, there is another reason why this weapon is the second best SMG in Destiny 2. And the second reason is because this weapon is craftable. So with the normal incandescent plus the fragment, you get 40 stacks of Scorch. However, with enhanced incandescent plus fragment, you get 45 stacks of Scorch. However, you used to get an amazing 85 stacks of Scorch with enhanced and also the fragment, but it's been nerfed down a bit. So if you're crafting a god roll for PvE in line number 3, I would go with Unrelenting, and in line number 4, I would go with Incandescent. And for PvP, this weapon has a pretty decent traits like moving target, Eye of the Storm, and also tap the trigger. However, this weapon is only ranked at 3.6 in PvP, so there are better choices like the Pizza SMG is a real good one for PvP, or our ranked number 1 weapon. Coming in at number 1 is the Out of Bounds submachine gun.
What the fuck did I just hear?
The Out of Bounds just came into Destiny 2 in the season of Plunder, and there's so many reasons why this weapon is the best legendary submachine gun in Destiny 2. And just like the Pizzicato 22, this weapon is rated very high for both PvP and PvE. And currently, the only way to get this weapon is by completing Crucible matches. And there's a special reason why you want to farm this weapon in Crucible, because every time you reset your Crucible rank, you have a chance of unlocking multiple perks on this weapon. So chances are you'll get both god roll perks for both PvP and PvE on the same weapon. And on top of that, this weapon is an arc weapon, so you'll be able to build so many Arc 3.0 builds centered around this submachine gun. And this weapon is a 900 rounds per minute, so you know it's meta, and it's an Amaline weapon, and they have some of the best weapons in the game. Plus it has a trait One Quiet Moment, which increases your reload speed by plus 40 when you're out of combat. Or you could choose the second perk, Amaline Fluid Dynamics, which the top half of the magazine has up to 20 stability and 30 reload speed. And Bungie was so kind to us by giving us several godly perks to choose from. And this weapon is so good because it's ease of use, and you can actually create a role that has 100% stability. However, if you're farming for a role that has great range, you still could get one with great stability of 75. And that's a major reason that separates this weapon from most of the SMGs in Destiny 2. So for PvP, range is your friend. So if I was you guys, I would be farming for a role with rangefinder and also perpetual motion. That's the perfect combination. And if you're taking this bad boy into PvE, I would roll with any combination of demolitionist, subsistence, perpetual motion, swashbuckler, or kill clip. And if you're looking for some great weapons to pair with these SMGs, here's my video on the top 10 most powerful weapons in Destiny 2. And I strongly suggest you guys watch this video now, and hey, please consider subscribing to the channel to help us get to 20,000.